Welcome to Dad Bods and Touchdowns.
Hey, thank you for joining us on another episode of Dad Bods and Touchdowns. Joined here with Eric and myself. Justin actually got called out to help our country, so hopefully he'll be with us next Sunday. Eric, right before we started to record, came across that the Chicago Bears have activated Ozzy Trapilo. What do you think about that? Let's hear it. I'm shocked.
Shocked. Everybody said that he wouldn't be back until the later season or he wouldn't play at all. So I was not expecting that. It's good news with the Kobe Bryant injury and having some positivity over, losing some of the other players we've lost.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. When I had seen it come across, I was stunned. Like you said, they were talking about him never playing again, possibly, or definitely not coming back until maybe November. And I was thinking if he wasn't coming back in November, unless he came back 100%, we would see him in the playoffs. Here we are, going to see him actually practicing in the preseason. That's great news for us because I like Ozzy at our left tackle, did an exceptional job. And you know what? For a guy to make sure that clock didn't stop, hopped off on one freaking leg, that tells me just how much football smarts that guy actually has. So exciting. I hope he is truly ready to come back, though. My fear would be a re-injury of that, or, what's your thought? I mean, it's a ruptured patella tendon. I mean, that's not a good injury. I mean, there's no good injuries, but that's a bad one to have.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know how that's going to work out, how fast they'll push him out. I mean, it's good that they said they're going to get him out, but I think, our boy at left tackle, what is his name? I can't think of his name right now. I don't
Braxton
know why.
Jones?
No. Karam. I can't remember how to say it.
Amagaji? No way.
He did a serviceable job. I think he did a good job compared to Willis.
No,
honestly.
Absolutely not. Give me the Canadian Eagle before you give me Karan. Sorry. I'm just not a fan of Karan. I don't think he's been able to stay healthy. And when he has a holding problem. I mean, to be serviceable would be like being Braxton Jones. It's okay to get a couple holding penalties, and I don't think that's right. I think that we're much better off with Theo Benedict, or obviously with Ozzy
if you could
back.
combine Trapilo, Amagaji, and Benedict, you would have a perfect tackle. But you can't.
Let me ask you this. If Ozzy can come back and he's ready for week 1, who do you start there? Braxton Jones, or do you start Ozzy Trapilo?
Ozzy Trapilo, definitely. Braxton Jones is not the answer. I'm sorry. He's serviceable. That's why they brought him back, but he's nothing special.
Yeah. And actually, we were going to talk about the depth chart that was put out, the first unofficial depth chart for the Bears. They obviously won yesterday against the Cleveland Browns. I have to be 100% honest. I caught little bits and clips of it. Went out car shopping yesterday and thought I'd be back. Took a little bit longer to get everything done than I thought. So I missed the game. That's the way it goes. But the depth chart yesterday, obviously they started Tyler Bagent. Erick, slow start by him. Slow start by the Bears in general. Kind of a cool thing, though, is Randall L. called all the plays in the second half of that game. Good stuff for him and shows a lot of character for Ben Johnson about what he wants to do for his coaches and make sure they're successful.
Yeah, it was nice to hear him say that he thinks Randall can be an offensive coordinator and even a head coach in the league. That's great. I mean, that shows that he wants to develop people, and that's another part of a coach's legacy is to have that tree come off of them. And I'm sure Ben is that kind of freak and nerd or whatever you want to call him, that he wants that legacy.
Yeah. We were talking about depth chart, by the way. I mentioned that briefly. I kind of looked at it, and I know that Luther Burden's out till week 1. I'm looking at who the Bears are going to lean on along with Roma Dunze. I think Ja'Day Walker has had some great catches. I haven't seen much drops. Obviously, you got Raymond there too. Who do you think is going to be that number 2 right now until Luther Burden comes back week 1?
I'm pretty sure it will probably be Raymond just because of the seniority, just knowing the game, knowing the playbook. But I think he's probably the best option there. Walker has been working his butt off, and you can see it. They like where he's at, where he's developed. And Xavier Thomas is going to be another guy that's going to be sneaky in there, or being that gadget guy, being the speed guy. There's a lot of depth in that receiver room, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what I have seen from our offense. I was excited after they started getting it going. Like I said, slow start. Wasn't excited about that part, but that's the way it goes. I hope that's not Chicago Bears football, though, because that's what we've seen all last year. A little concerning, but we'll see the direction that it goes and see what happens with them. I mean, do you see anything else on the depth chart that might stick out to you that might be a better battle than what's put out there as far as on the unofficial depth chart?
Yeah, 100%. There's a lot, actually. There's going to be that number 3 quarterback. Do they trade Bajent? Miller Moss is serviceable. I know he had a few mishaps, but he looked good. That running back spot, I think Coleman Bennett and Salvin Ahmad look better than Rashawn Johnson. Rashawn Johnson is a failed experiment, okay? He's not it. He had the most carries. He had like 8 carries compared to the other 2. And he looked slow. He didn't look decisive. I didn't like that.
Yeah, and he definitely worked his way out of Ben Johnson's system last year.
I think so. He can't stay healthy. He's not even a guy that's a very good, depth piece in that special team room. So I really don't like that. You got your boy. There's a lot of tight end. For tight end 4. There's a lot of battle there. They got that rookie from Iowa, Large. I think is his last name, number 43. Yeah. There's a battle there.
Aiden Large.
There's that. And then there's a few other ones that they like. There's Stephen Carlson that was there last year. Steven Carlson, sorry. There's a lot of tight end battle. And then also that center. We've talked about this. I think Bradbury's pulling away, Chad. I didn't think that was going to happen, but that man, I think he's taking the helm. He's a man up front, and he's taking charge. So,
no, I don't disagree with you one bit on that one. And we discussed this, and I thought that the only way that Bradbury wouldn't start is if they traded him. I thought that's the only way he disappeared. Do I think Logan Jones is a starter starting next year? Yeah, 100%. I think that's the starter for the Chicago Bears. I don't think there's any battle there though.
It's a great development thing for him, though. I think he's going to learn a lot from someone like Bradbury that can teach them the playbook and teach them how to be a leader in the front office kind of thing. You got that opposite side of Sweat. You got Austin Booker. You had Jamar Karam, or however you say his last name, show out. Had that strip sack strip.
Dangbo was getting held and
Dangbo
tripped. He had a good game.
He looked
as far as coming back.
There's a lot from that Loving from the defensive tackle standpoint had a lot of push. You had Vandenberg look pretty good. There's a lot there. Same thing with I really like what I saw from DeMarco Jackson. First play, Bush looked fast. They both look really good.
Yeah, I did see that.
I think there's something to do with that Sewell last name because that guy's on concussion protocol. So that sucks for them. And it just
now let me ask you this: what do you think about Thieneman? That kid's quick. He finds the ball. I mean, he's got a little bit to work on, but that's a great pick for the Chicago Bears. I'm excited.
Definitely has to work on his open field and staying decisive, but no, I agree with you. He looked fast. He looked fluid. Xavier Woods is a good pickup, I think, as well. I really like him for depth piece now that we don't have Bryant. Also, I did not know that they're going to start Malik Muhammad at that slot position, but I think that's great. He looked like he blew up somebody on one of the plays. I don't remember exact play, but he looked good. I mean, it's a development-ish thing, but it's great. I mean, if we can't count on our boy Kyle Gordon, then that's what they have to do.
Yeah, and losing Kobe Bryant for the next 4 to 6 months after that knee surgery, ouch. I mean, you already said it. Some good news with Ozzy coming back, but obviously the overshadowing fact is our defense needs help, and especially that secondary. And it's good to see some guys stand up and show out there, but we'll see when week 1 comes and how that all plays out, because that is, I think, probably going to be the weakness at this point in time, where I thought our secondary would be our strength. I think that the line played a lot better yesterday from what I had seen than what I thought they would be. And it's the Cleveland Browns, but the Cleveland Browns started their starter.
Yeah, I mean, you got a guy from the Jets, Beanie Bishop, showing up, having 2 interceptions. That was cool to see, and then I want to see what we look like with the actual starters out there.
Right. No, I agree with you. One thing I did take away on the opposite side, as far as with the Browns, did you see how quick they came out to say that their starting quarterback for next week preseason game is Shedeur Sanders, not Deshaun Watson? intentional, or do you think it's because Deshaun looked as rough as he did?
I mean, I still think it's the money thing. We talked about it. There's no way you don't start
but
that man paying him.
Sanders is the starter next week.
I don't know. I know there's a battle.
Deshaun's going to play the second half. They already said that he'll come in and play. Him and Gabriel are going to play the second half. So it's been called. I mean, literally hours after that game.
I mean, he's the better option. I still think it's hard for me to see them actually doing it. But if they do, I mean, good for them.
Yeah, I agree. So let's talk about an AFC team here that just had a brand new stadium. You threw this across. You're like, the Buffalo Bills got a lemon for a $2.1 billion stadium. I read up on some of it. I've seen some of the issues. I'll let you hit on some of them and see which ones you miss or which ones you didn't cover.
Well, at first I thought about it. That's how they get you, right? But no, I mean, I guess those seats are not really available for actual football games. It's more for live events. So, it's not as big an issue as I originally thought. Also,
well, I mean, from what I'm reading, though, that there's like the thickness of the glass is preventing them from being able to see. And those are actual season ticket seats that were sold to these guys. I mean, they said that essentially the representation of the stadium when they were trying to get them to approve it is not actually what they have put together. I mean, if you've got obstructed view, and the players are even talking about the field itself is not serviceable to play a football game on. You're talking injuries, possibility, unhappy fans. I mean, let's be honest, Buffalo Bills fans sometimes are a little questionable in the head anyway, when you're jumping through and smashing your head through tables and all kinds of other shit. And when you build a stadium and you actually put a broken table as part of it, which I thought was cool, I'm not going to lie, but that just goes to speak volumes on where the process was more about trying to appease the fans by the look and not by the actual view of the game.
No, yeah, I agree with you. It's hard to, unless you hear it from the people, because you hear mixed reviews, because the GM or whoever was like, no, it's only like 3% of the issues that they put out in that survey, whatever it was. But I don't know how much of that is, baloney to actual issues with the field. That's why I thought it was an interesting topic, because we're trying to get a new stadium. Are we going to fall into that issue too, where we're paying for something and then we have issues? I'm like, it's like buying a brand new car and then you fucking, you can't see a certain way because you have a blind spot when you're turning. It's just not great.
Right. No, I agree. And I hope that when they do go to build the new stadium for the Chicago Bears, they obviously have to look into the good and the bad of the last, 5 to 10 stadiums built and go from there. And I'm sure they will. I mean, that's just that's intelligence more than we have. So I'm sure these guys are thinking of it and following through.
Well, that's why they got Warren. I've been to the Vikings MetLife or whatever it's called stadium. Yeah. It's a great stadium. Like, if we get anything like that, we'll be good. I mean, besides their turf, that's the big issue with their turf, But other than that, I think we'll be all right. I hope, if we can actually get some building done, but we'll see when that happens.
Right. No, I agree completely. Yeah. I mean, I'm just waiting for them to finally say, hey, we're breaking ground, or we plan on breaking ground on this date or something for the Chicago Bears, whether it's in Hammond, Indiana or Arlington Heights. Robert Goodell last Thursday was meeting privately with Illinois lawmakers.
I was just going to say that. So, that's hilarious. Yeah.
And they, from what I gathered from that press conference on Thursday, is they're not building on that original site. They were not happy with what they found. They didn't say it, but you don't go to another site that's find a better spot. You know what I mean? I know you want to test several, but when you're talking about, hey, this is where we want to build and this is where we're going to be happy to build. And all of a sudden now it's like, well, we're weighing our options. We are actually doing testing now on this other site. You're either delaying it or you weren't happy with the original site. And now you got Goodell meeting with the Illinois lawmakers. Listen, Arlington Heights, I think, is still probably the biggest one in play. I don't see it in Chicago. I can say that. I do not see them playing in Chicago. There's nowhere for them to build that stadium, and they cannot revamp Soldier Field.
Arlington Heights has the perfect space. I mean, it's just plain and simple. We used to be a casino with a track. It's placed perfectly amount of space. It's just getting that law
infrastructure
and getting and then getting the taxes and stuff done. And I know Illinois wants to make their money, but I mean, how much money do you guys need to actually fucking fix something? Like, I mean, it's not even about politics. It's about the fact that you get your monies from tollaways, you get money from this and that, and then
Well,
you
they get
still
money
want
from
more.
us every which way
Exactly.
they can.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just that's the issue. It's just like, I get it, but the fact that how much business and just overall like attention that we'll get is crazy to me, that you're not trying the hardest you can to get it done. You know what I mean?
So, Eric, I have a question for you, because the Bears have sustained a lot of injuries already in their training camp. We know the intensity that Ben Johnson runs with his practice. Now, I will say that I did hear last week there was a practice where they called it pretty much a walkthrough, even though it was supposed to be a full outright practice. Do you think maybe this intensity that he comes with and the hits he wants to be happening are contributing to some of these injuries that the Bears have?
I mean, that's how you build a winning culture, though. You can't. Can you
Can't
have it
win
both?
with your
Can you
players
have
being
it
hurt.
both, though? Let's be honest. I mean,
I think you can.
I just don't think. I think you need to get those deads in to be ready for that kind of championship caliber team. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I agree that sometimes maybe he's a little too maniacal in that way, that he wants his way, but that's the coach I want, though, at the end of the
Right.
day.
No, I agree. That's the coach I want too. But I'm just saying that maybe the intensity, I was happy to hear actually it was more of a walkthrough. I guess there was a lot of disappointed people because it was one of the training camp days where they allowed the fans there. So the fans didn't get to see a lot of the hitting. But to me, I think you have to have that. We've talked about how Penn State runs their mat room, where they have days where they freaking play dodgeball or whatever the case may be. They're not wrestling. So I think you have to have that. You have to make sure that body's fresh, used to the hits, but it has to stay fresh and have time to heal. I mean, it's a long season.
You're not wrong, but then you also got like people like Kyle Gordon that keep having soft tissue injuries, that he's not doing what he needs to do outside of what they can control. So it's also on the players as well, I think.
No, I wouldn't disagree with that at all. All right. I had to bring this up because I've got my view and I wanted to hear your view. This whole Jaden Daniels drama at LSU, where rookie DJ Pickett's wearing the number 5, and now you got a cease and desist that Jaden Daniels served LSU. Don't use my name, don't use my likeness, because they're allowing somebody to use the number that he played with at LSU. I think this is fucking petty as hell. What's your take? I mean, seriously. I mean, am I wrong by thinking this is just fucking petty?
Yes, it's college. You can't retire college numbers unless you're one of the, like a Barry Sanders or somebody to that caliber. Then yes, I understand. But what did he do for LSU? Did he win a national championship? No, he won a Heisman. Who the fuck cares? I mean, Caleb Williams won a Heisman. They still wear the number 13. It doesn't matter. Like, I just thought it was annoying and petty, like you said, because you're over here throwing a fit because this dude's wearing the number 5. What are you whining about? Go win in the NFL, and then you can talk.
Well, even if he wins in the NFL, Eric, there was somebody that gave him the opportunity to show his talents, to be able to do what he's doing today, and that's the college. And listen, the players, I don't know what he made for nil. I'm sure he made some nil money. They've paid you for your name. They put you on national television to play the game. They put you in the position to win the Heisman. Don't get me wrong, he had to make the plays. He had to be the player on the field, but they gave him the opportunity. And now you're going to shit on him essentially because you're mad because a guy's going to wear number 5, a guy that in JD Pickett that said, hey, I've wore this number since I've been, a little kid. That's why I'm wearing it. And they promised it to me. I just think that it really bothers me.
No, I'm not. I don't disagree with you. I thought it was such a big baby, like whining about it. Go tell mom so they can write an angry letter to the principal. Like, dude, shut up. All right. Like, it's crazy to me that you're going to whine about a number, It's wild. It's wild.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. I don't either.
One more thing, and then we'll hit buy-sell trades. I want to cover a couple things. They had 4 players suspended. The NFL kind of went wild this past weekend. You got James Pierce, the outside linebacker of the Atlanta Falcons, 8 games for violation of NFL personal conduct policy, getting arrested for smacking his girlfriend. Then you got Nazee Johnson, 6 games for violating the league's policy on performance-enhancing drugs. You had Mathis, the defensive tackle from Buffalo, violating the league substance of abuse, 3 games. And then you had the Commanders' defensive end, Armstrong, 1 game suspension for violating the personal conduct policy. Eric, were they like, hey, this is the day we're going to lay the hammer down?
Yeah, dude, I kept checking my phone. And I was like, what, did they just say something? But it was somebody new.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. You know, you got to hold these guys accountable to their actions, just like you want anybody else to be held accountable. But I don't know. It's hard to find the happy medium, but you do got to hold the players and teams accountable for what they do or the players do.
Yeah, I was watching actually the Kansas City Chiefs preseason game against the Rams and watching it scroll across, and I'm like, holy cow. I was like, somebody woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Goodell's like, yep, suspended. So, but I just wanted to cover that real quick. And I agree. Listen, these players got to be held accountable just like anybody else.
Accountable. I mean, also, you know, you see, I'm a little disappointed because I drafted Jeremiah Love in one of my leagues, and now he has a sore ankle and he's out. I'm like, what is happening? But other people are getting paid. So the NFL is crazy, and we're just going to have story after story. I mean, you got people making money and players getting hurt. I mean, it's just what it is.
Yeah, I agree completely. All right, Eric, buy or sell? Tua played against the Denver Broncos in his first preseason game with Atlanta. All right. From what you see, does Tua still have what it takes to be an NFL quarterback? Are you buying that he does, or no? Are you selling that he does?
I'm selling that 10 out of 10 times. I just didn't know what to say. They all look terrible. The Falcons look like they were like a college team compared to the Broncos. They seemed unprepared, unmotivated. It just seemed off. They were not able to do anything, and it was crazy.
Yeah, I don't think Stefanski had them prepared at all. I agree.
Tua
looks scared. Tua looks scared to me. I mean, am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. I mean, they just looked like they didn't know what they were doing. Like they didn't practice at all that week. And Denver's a good team. Don't get me wrong, but like to fear them like that is crazy to me.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you got him stepping up in the pocket right away, missing his first read. It might be time for Tua to step away. I know they're waiting for Penix to come back to see if he comes back healthy, if he'll be the starter, but I don't think Penix is the answer there either. Yeah, Atlanta, but we shall see.
Like even when their own players are making fun of him right next to him, it's crazy to me. Like I feel for the guy, but like, what are we doing? Like he just did not look ready, and he was scared.
I agree. So yeah, I'm selling it with you. All right, the second one we got, Ian Machado Gary lost his fight last night against Makhachev, and I know we'll talk a little bit deeper about this one after we get done with this. He said he was not disheartened by this and that his mind is bulletproof. Do you buy that this isn't going to sit in his head that he lost? To be honest with you, lost a fight he probably should have won. When he looks at this, is his mind going to be bulletproof, or is it going to actually be like, oh, shit, I screwed up, and it's going to sit on him a little bit?
I mean, the one thing I was telling just thinking is that he didn't look phased all 5 rounds. He was laughing, smiling, just doing his thing, but he needs to have more urgency. I mean, they asked Dana the same question, like, what does he need to do? And he's like, if he would have turned it on in that 5th round, he probably would have been a different story, you know? And I agree. Like, I'm wearing, you know, to support my boy, but you know, if he doesn't take him down, like that head kick can only get you 1 round, my boy. Like, it was rough. He couldn't do very much against them. And Gary,
that head kick by Makhachev in that second round when he dropped him, I was like, holy shit.
It was perfect. It was perfect. But he couldn't capitalize. And I mean, luckily his wrestling's so top tier that he was able to dominate him. Because not dominate, but take him down.
The second round,
yeah, to be able to take him down and stuff. Because I don't think he wins with just a straight up, not ground, but like stand up game against Gary like that.
No, he did have some nice shots though. I will say there were times that he looked really good on his feet early in that fight. But I think I'm selling the fact that he thinks that way because he, like I said, he's going to watch the video of this fight, and there's no way he can justify like you said, the methodical way that he went about it with no sense of urgency, I guess. And he's going to rethink that, and it's got to sit in his mind. Your mind can't be bulletproof on something like that because you're not going to learn.
I mean, he had a point. He said, there's champions at 38 and he's only 28. So he does have time, and, maybe some of his ways are a little weird, and his wife, whatever is his case manager, whatever you want to call her, I know she's PR trained and all that, but like, it's just, I don't know. It's just a weird way to go out, because he could have had that fight if he would have just.
Well, there was at one point in time that he had Makhachev on him, and he literally looks over to his wife or whatever.
Yeah, and just like, hey, I'm doing good.
Yeah.
I'm doing good.
I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, no,
yeah, I'm okay.
He needed to
I will say, I think that his demeanor and the way he handled himself while on the ground, that's what made him survive those rounds, because he wasn't over breathing. He wasn't changing his breathing patterns.
Yeah, he always just stayed. He would stay up, take a deep breath, and go to his corner, and then come back looking the same. I mean, Makhachev, his face looked worse, honestly. I mean, I know that doesn't mean anything.
And his ribcage.
Yeah, but I mean, Gary did his thing. He is a really good fighter, and he was in there with one of the best. I mean, he can say that now.
I agree. I just think he wasted one away that he could have had. That's just my take. So,
I still think,
any other takeaways? I did not watch the fights last night. Well, I watched the main event. I did watch Makhachev and Ian Machado Gary, but I did not watch the other fights. Eric, were there any fights of notice that we're talking about?
I mean, we had the Dern versus Robertson. Robertson did not look. She looked timid, scared, like she was trying to spar. She did not look ready. Jalen Turner, man, he just knocked that dude out. Fernandez was not ready. I didn't think Turner was going to win that, to be fair. I thought Turner was, when somebody thinks they're going to retire, then I think the same thing. Malik, that was crazy to lose to the dude, Dustin. I did not see that coming. Malik was supposed to destroy this guy. He was probably one of the most favorited fighters in the books, and this guy just choked them out, which was crazy. So it was just, I don't know. The most disappointing fight to me was the Joel and the Cuddy, I think was his name. Joel Alvarez versus Cuddy. It was basically a multi fight, and Alvarez did not do anything to change it, which was crazy to me, because Cuddy's a Muay Thai fighter. So, just play into his bag. Why don't you? But overall, it was a mid card. It was all right. I was not overly excited, to be fair.
Right. All right. With that, what do you got in closing, Eric?
Shout out to all the people that watch this. I'm going to keep wearing this for luck for the Bears and for all the good fighters out there. I don't know. I like it. Anyways, it keeps my head warm. Other than that, we appreciate everybody watching, and we'll keep pushing.
Eric, you didn't want to talk about the Cardinals rookie, Joshua Baez smacking 3
I did not want to talk. I was hoping you'd forget about that.
Chicago Cubs.
Yo,
his rookie debut, first pitch, almost 450, went yard. Gets up to bat again. What happened, Eric? I had a second at bat.
How do we want to talk about it? He had another 2-run bomb and then a single bomb. Or no, it was a single and then a 2-run bomb, and then he lined out the last time. But,
what a debut, though, right?
It's one for the storybooks. It's the first time that's ever happened. So, I mean, shout out to him. It's good for him. It just sucks that it was against, but that happens. It always happens. There's a certain Cardinals player that just always has our number. And it's been a minute, but I think he might be the guy now.
And I think it's still happening, because, I mean, I know while we're recording this, that the Cubs are still down right now, 9-2 against the Cardinals.
It was just 3-2 a second ago, so that's great. Motherfucker.
And my Chicago White Sox won again. They swept the Detroit Tigers. They won 7-5. Eric, the Sox are playing some good ball at home. I will say they struggle on the road usually, but they did pick up the sweep on the road this week, so I was excited and happy.
I mean, good for them.
Yeah. I want to reiterate what Eric just said. We appreciate you listening. We will start some Bears post-game podcasts after the week 1 game. We appreciate you. Please follow us on all our socials, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. Be kind to each other. We're out. Peace.